my name is Alia binti Ahmad. My matrix number is 03DPR20F1034. Today, I would like to present the favorite movie genre among Polimas students. The title of our survey is Favorite Movie Genre among Polimas students. We carried out the survey to 45 Polimas students. The Google form was used as our instrument to collect our data, and we collected the data within a week. The difficulties when we do our survey is difficult to find respondents for our survey. Next, we will continue to objective of doing this survey. The first one is to determine the most popular film genre among Polimas students. And the second one is the purpose of this research was to see how often Polimas students went to the movies. And the last one is to find out what time of day students prefer to watch movie. Now, I'll show you our questionnaire. For part 1, demography, we do ask about ethnicity, departments, and genders. And for part 2, favorite movie genre among Polimas students, we ask about favorite movie genre. In part 2, we also ask about how often students go to the cinema, did watching movie can reduce their stress, what is their favorite genre of movie, and what will student look if in choosing movie. Okay, this is the last 3 questions of part B, which is if students prefer not to go to the cinema, what is their other alternative in watching movie? And then, what time students usually watch movie, and what category of movie country did students like to watch?
Okay, we move on to part A, that is demographic. There are 3 things, which is respondents' gender, respondents' ethnicity, and respondents' department. As we can see, this pie chart reveals the gender of our respondents. From our survey, we have received 73.3% female responses, and only 26.7% of male students answered to our survey. Okay, next is ethnicity of the respondents. From our survey, we have 4 categories, which is Malay, Chinese, Indians, and Pakistanis. Next are the respondents' department. From our survey, we have received 5 departments, which is Department of Commerce, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Department of Electrical Engineering, Department of Civil Engineering, and Department of Information Technology.
Okay, now I will continue part B, which is favorite movie genre among Polimas students. Before I start the presentation, let me introduce myself first. My name is Nur Anis Nabila binti Ruslan. My matric number is 03DPR20F1005.
Okay, next, as you can see at the bar chart here, we will present our final favorite movie genre among Polimas students. The y-axis represents the movie genre, while the x-axis represents the number of students. There are 9 types on the y-axis. There are actions, romance, adventure, comedy, science fiction, hero, fantasy, thriller, and musical. Based on the graph, the most favorite movie genre is action, and the least favorite is science fiction, fantasy, and musical. As you can see, 11 students chose action as their favorite movie genre. However, only 3 students has same vote chose science fiction, fantasy, and musical. The next second Polimas student favorite genre movie is horror with 7 votes, which is slightly higher than action. The next most popular movie genre watching by Polimas student has some vote is romance, comedy, and thriller. There was reached 5 votes, which is slightly higher than horror vote. As a conclusion, we found our action was chosen as the more favorite movie genre by Polimas student because they was higher than other type of movie genre. Next, the pie chart review how often Polimas students do to the cinema to watch a movie. Student frequency is divided into 4 times, which is more than 1 week, once a week, 2 unrestricted times a month, and once a month. From the information show, it can be seen that once a month would more than a half of 53.3%, then once a week would more than a tenth with 50.6%. However, more than one with vote less than a 10 with 6.7%. Lastly, 2 until 3 times amount vote more than a 10 with 24.4%. As a conclusion, Polimas students spend more time to the cinema because they want to release their stress. And now, I would like to pass the presentation to Safia Omar.
Department of Information Technology. Hello, my name is Nur Safia binti Muhammad Omar. Today I'm going to presenting our finding on the main factor Polimas students look for in choosing a movie. The y-axis represents the factor Polimas students look in choosing a movie, while the x-axis represents the number of students. There are 7 factors that are interesting trailer, a specific genre, a recommendation from other, a good storyline, a good reviewer rating, well-known director, actors and actresses. Based on the graph, the most favorite factor when choosing a movie is a good storyline. As you can see, 13 students choose a good storyline as the factor for selecting a movie. However, only 2 students choose well-known director as the factor choosing a movie. The second most favorite factor that chosen by students is with 8 votes. Recommendation from others is somewhat lower than a good storyline. The next most favorite factor choose is actors, actresses. Actors, actresses receive 7 votes, which is slightly higher than a specific genre with only 4 votes. Next, 2 factors get a similar vote as 6 votes, which is an interesting trailer and a good reviewer rating. An interesting trailer and a good reviewer rating a little lower than a recommendation from others. In conclusion, we found that a good storyline has been selected as the most favorite factor chosen by Polimas students when choosing a movie. Next, I'm going to presenting about the Polimas students' opinion on horror genre is the most favorite genre among students. The pie chart reveals the Polimas students' opinion on horror genre is the most favorite genre among students. Students' opinion divided to 5 categories, which is strongly agree, not sure, disagree, and strongly disagree. From information show, nearly a third of students agree that the horror genre is the most favorite genre among students. This is the biggest choice by Polimas students. The second greatest choice by Polimas students is strongly agree, which is nearly a quarter or 24.4% of students. Strongly agree that the horror genre is the favorite genre among students. Not sure is the next biggest category, accounting exactly a fifth with 20%. Strongly disagree make up more than a tenth of students that strongly disagree that horror genre is the most favorite genre among students. Slightly a tenth of Polimas students disagree that horror genre is the most favorite genre among students. In conclusion, most of Polimas students agree that the horror genre is the most preferred genre by students. This is because teenagers are more interested in genres that are not boring and outdated.
Students like to watch. Due to COVID-19, we had learned to be more careful with our social activities. If you prefer not to go to the cinema, what is your alternative in watching your movie? So, this is the pie chart of this survey. The pie chart reveals Polimas students' alternative to watching movies during pandemic COVID-19. From the information shown, we can see that the number of students who watch Netflix is lower than a half, while downloading from the internet for nearly a quarter. Astro is the next biggest category, accounting for more than a tenth. YouTube make up nearly 1/10 of the content of Polimas students' alternative to watching movies during pandemic COVID-19. Meanwhile, the local channels makes up below a 10 and 1% is from TV box. In conclusion, Polimas students mostly spend on Netflix. This is because Netflix has more movie options from various countries and various subtitles that are able to meet the needs of Polimas students. Next, we will continue with which category of movie country do you prefer to watch. This is the bar chart. As you can see this bar chart, the y-axis represents the country and the x-axis represents the number of students. There are 5 types of choices on the y-axis, which is Malaysian, Asian, European, Hollywood, Bollywood, and Korean. Based on the graph, the most favorite movie country is in Hollywood and the least favorite movie country is Bollywood. As you can see, 14 students chose Hollywood as their favorite movie country. However, only 1 student chose Bollywood. The next second Polimas favorite type of movie country is Asian. Asian is slightly higher than Malaysian. The next most popular movie country watched by Polimas student is Malaysia. Malaysia received 8 votes, which is fractionally higher than European. As part of that, the Korean vote is 5 lower than Hollywood with 9 votes indifferent. In a conclusion, we found out Hollywood was chosen as the most favorite category of movie country among Polimas students because higher than all the type of movie country.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Afia Fiza binti Muhammad Ramadan, and now I will continue the presentation with the questionnaire. At what time of the day do Polimas students choose to watch their movie? As you can see from the pie chart shown, most of Polimas students like to watching movie at midnight time, which is less than a half of the total percentage. Next, the second choice of time to watch movie is at night, which is slightly more than a third or 37.8%. Going to the next time of the day to watch movie is afternoon, accounting just over a 10 with 13.3%. So as we can see, time of the day to watch movie that choose by Polimas student is at morning and evening, which is less than a 10 with only 2.2% of the percentage. So as a conclusion, majority of Polimas students choose midnight as their time of the day to watch movie. This is because midnight time is the most relaxing time to watch movie. Okay, now let's continue to the next pie chart. This pie chart is shown the result of Polimas students agree or not if watching movie can reduce stress or not. So as you can see, slightly less than a half of the Polimas students choose strongly agree with this question. Continue with the next one, nearly a third of the percentage choose to agree if watching movie can reduce their stress with 37.8%. Next, only slightly over a 10 of the Polimas students choose disagree that watching movie can reduce their stress. From the questionnaire, not sure make up the remaining percentage below a 10, which is only 4.4%. So, as a conclusion, mostly of the Polimas students choose strongly agree if watching movie can reduce the stress because movie is a part of entertainment for them. So, from the survey of favorite movie genre among Polimas students, as we can see, the most favorite movie genre among Polimas students is action with 10%. Majority of the Polimas students go to the cinema once a month. Most of them use Netflix to watch movie with 44.4%. Nearly a half of Polimas students choose to watch movie at midnight time. And lastly, 46.7% of the Polimas students strongly agree that movie can reduce stress. So, as a conclusion, we entertain ourselves just by watching movie. Thank you.